Today, we're breaking down why Bitcoin is unstoppable, 7 attack vectors that failed. Welcome to Bitcoin Bytes HQ, simple Bitcoin explainers. This is educational content only, not financial advice. Let's go. Let's start with why this matters in 2025. For more than 15 years, Bitcoin has been publicly attacked, criticized, restricted, and declared finished again and again. And yet, it's still here, still settling value, still running without a central owner. If Bitcoin were fragile, it would already be gone. Understanding why it isn't helps separate headlines from reality. The key idea today is simple. Bitcoin survives because it was designed to survive. Not perfectly, not magically, but mechanically. We'll walk through the main attack vectors that were expected to stop it, and why they didn't. Step 1. Censorship attacks failed. Many early critics assumed Bitcoin could be censored like a website or a company, shut down servers, block transactions, pressure operators. Bitcoin doesn't work that way. Transactions are broadcast across thousands of independent nodes. Anyone can run one. There's no master switch. If one path is blocked, messages route around it. This doesn't mean censorship is impossible everywhere, but it does mean no single authority can reliably stop Bitcoin at a global level. That's censorship resistance, not absolute, but resilient. Step 2. National bans didn't stop it. The most famous example is China's Bitcoin ban. Mining was banned, exchanges were shut down. Many assumed this would cripple the network. Instead, mining temporarily dropped, then recovered. Bitcoin automatically adjusted. Miners relocated. Blocks kept coming. The system didn't ask permission or require coordination. It adapted. This showed something important. Bitcoin isn't tied to any single country. Geography is optional. Step 3. The 51% attack remained theoretical. A 51% attack means controlling most of Bitcoin's mining power to manipulate recent blocks. On paper, it sounds catastrophic. In practice, it's extraordinarily expensive and self-defeating. Even a successful attacker couldn't steal other people's Bitcoin or break cryptography. They could only disrupt transactions temporarily, while spending enormous resources and destroying trust in the very network they're attacking. Bitcoin aligns incentives so that attacking it hurts the attacker most. So far, we've seen 3 layers of its defense tested: communication, geography, and raw power. In each case, Bitcoin bent, but it didn't break. And understanding these fundamental strengths is the first step to seeing why, after all this time, it's still here. That's the real story behind the headlines. Building on that, we've seen how attackers failed to gain control of Bitcoin's supply or reverse its transactions. But the attacks didn't stop there. The next vector was to break the code itself, an attack through technical failure, finding bugs, exploits, trying to crack the cryptography that secures the whole system. From day one, Bitcoin has been under constant, relentless scrutiny from the smartest minds in the world, all looking for that one fatal flaw. And when issues were found, especially in the early days, they were fixed. But how they were fixed is the key. They were fixed slowly, publicly, and with extreme caution. Every proposed change is debated endlessly by a global community of developers. This deliberate, cautious pace makes Bitcoin seem boring compared to flashier projects. But when it comes to money, when it comes to your value, boring is a feature. Predictability is a feature. You don't want surprises. With the technical attacks failing, the final front was an attack on belief itself. These are the narrative attacks, the constant claims that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, that it's a bubble, that it's obsolete technology and something newer, faster, and better has already replaced it. This narrative has been pushed for over a decade. Yet, through all the noise, Bitcoin keeps doing one thing, and it does it better than anything else in history, settling large amounts of value between anyone, anywhere in the world, without requiring trust in a central authority. Other systems might optimize for new features or transaction speed. Bitcoin optimizes for one thing above all else: reliability. It's the bedrock. And that's why, after all these years, it remains the unshakable reference point for the entire industry. Now, this resilience is often misunderstood, so let's clear up a few common myths. First, the myth that Bitcoin only survived because of hype. This couldn't be more wrong. Hype comes and goes in massive waves, but Bitcoin kept running uninterrupted through long, quiet periods where the price was stagnant and the mainstream media declared it dead and buried. The network continued to produce a block every 10 minutes, day in and day out, whether anyone was cheering for it or not. Its survival came from its fundamental structure, not from fleeting excitement. Second, the myth that governments can just shut it down whenever they want. A government can certainly regulate the on-ramps and off-ramps, the exchanges where you buy and sell, but they can't turn off a decentralized protocol that runs on thousands of computers in hundreds of countries simultaneously. Shutting down Bitcoin would be like trying to shut down the internet itself. There is no central off switch. And the third, most persistent myth, that a better, more advanced coin can easily replace Bitcoin. The problem here is that you can't recreate Bitcoin's origin story. It's almost impossible. It was launched into the world with no pre-mine, meaning the creator didn't set aside a stash of coins for himself. It had no company, no venture capital funding, no marketing department, and an anonymous creator who, after setting it in motion, disappeared forever. No one had special privileges. It was the fairest launch possible. That level playing field simply can't be repeated now that the world understands what's at stake. Here's what I wish I knew when I started. Early on, I thought the price was the story. I was obsessed with the charts. But it isn't. The price is the least interesting thing about Bitcoin. The real story, the one that matters, it's resilience. Bitcoin isn't impressive because its price went up. It's impressive because it didn't break when everything and everyone tried to break it. Once you truly see that, once you understand its survival is the feature, everything else just clicks into place. So, for a quick recap, Bitcoin has survived over a decade of repeated real-world attacks on every front imaginable. Each one of these failed attacks actually made the network stronger, more tested, and more trustworthy. And this proven resilience is its single most important feature. If you want to see this for yourself, here's one tiny next action you can take. Visit the website bitcoindeaths.com. Just scroll through the hundreds and hundreds of times that major publications, economists, and experts have officially declared Bitcoin dead since 2010. You'll notice a very clear pattern. The headlines fade, the critics move on, but the network just keeps running. That's why Bitcoin is unstoppable. 7 attack vectors that failed, simplified. If this helped, like, share, and subscribe for more Bitcoin explainers. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next one.